Okay, yes, hello, it's Joe here for Joyrider TV. This is going to be another unrehearsed, unscripted video, and today's topic is, can you sail a Hobie 16 without any rudders? This sounds ridiculous, and I'm not even sure if it's possible. I've never really tried it. At the moment, the wind is kind of a gusty, it's going between probably 4 knots and 8 knots onshore wind, and I think I'm actually going to go with no rudders at all from the start. But the problem that I already know that I'm going to have is that the mainsail on the Hobie 16 is relatively large to the jib, so we're just going to have to see if we can balance the main and the jib well enough to be able to sail. So let's see how we go. I'm going to start off by getting her off the mooring. No rudders at all. Who thought this was a good idea? All right, so I'm going to get the boat to bear away from the wind by going to the back of the boat. That's going to sink the back of the boat, and in theory the boat should bear away from the wind. Oh yeah, it's going. I'm just going to hold it there for as long as I can to get the boat to go as far from the wind as possible, and then I'm going to crank the jib in. So jib is tight, main is loose. Okay, and we are kind of achieving a straight course at the moment. Okay, this is a pretty good start. As you see on the mainsail, there's absolutely no tension in the mainsail at all. But as we get a bit more wind, the main is just taking us up into the wind a bit, so I'm just going to free off a bit more sheet. Oh, and there we're actually able to bear away from the wind a little bit with a bit more sheet. Okay, I think we should see what our weight movements are going to do to the steering of the boat. So if I go forwards, what's going to happen? We're heading up towards the wind, and if I go backwards, we're bearing away slightly. Now there does seem to be a bit of an obstruction in our path, so I think it's a good idea to see if we can slow down or stop before we hit it. So what I'm going to actually do is ease the jib out, and we'll probably go upwind a little bit here. Okay, now we can pull the jib in a bit again, and we're bearing off once more. So we're going with pretty much zero tension in the main sheet. Let's see if pulling the jib in on the wrong side is actually going to help us to bear away a bit more. Okay, so just pulling in on the windward jib sheet a bit to try to get the front of the boat off the wind. Okay, that's not... I think if the wind was stronger, it'd have a bit more of an direct effect, but that is not really having the effect that I had in mind. So we're cranking that sheet in again, but it does seem that we're restricted to one course at the moment. So next line of attack, I'm going to go down to the leeward side, see what effect that has. Of course, do run the risk of capsizing a bit. So leeward side at the back. Now that should certainly help us to bear away. So I think we have absolutely no problem in getting the boat head to wind. Oh yeah, so we are bearing away there by going to the leeward side towards the back. But I think the biggest test here is going to be to see if we can tack and then get her away from the wind. All right, so this tack is going to be completely on the main sheet. We've been through this before, but I think this is going to be a really clear demonstration of what the main sheet does on the boat. So I'm going to try to get us into the wind pretty quickly, bringing the traveller in, sheeting the main in. Wow, that is effective. The jib's going to back, so I'm going to let all of that off as much as possible before it tries to pull us back up into the wind. I'm actually sitting on the boom a little bit to get it to go out. All right, so we've got no pressure in the mainsail there. And now I'm going to get the jib onto the correct side, cranking it in, and the jib is well oversheeted. And then to get the boat to bear off, I'm going to go to the leeward side, and there it is. We've just tacked with no rudders on a 16. This is actually a first time for me. Pretty pleased with that. And we're actually bearing off. So with the mainsail totally limp, and you can see at the moment the bottom battens are actually on the wrong side. So I think we can almost steer we're steering the boat just by moving around. So the leeward side at the back is where we go if we want to bear away, and then either go towards the front or the windward side is going to make us head up in our body positions. So this is really indicating how the sails work on the boat. The mainsail pulls us up into the wind, the jib is pulling us away from the wind. Very nice. Okay, I think it's time to see how on earth are we going to get it to go downwind? That is the question. There's a bit more wind coming through here, so the mainsail is going to try to take us up into the wind. So I'm getting to the leeward side to try to encourage the boat to bear away. Is it going to go? She's not too keen. All right, how on earth are we going to get her to go downwind? Well, as we know from the previous video about sailing backwards, one very effective way to go downwind is to go backwards. So let's say we're sailing with no rudders because we had a disaster, like we lost our rudders. I think, can we say that we've reasonably successfully demonstrated that you can sail upwind, albeit not particularly efficiently, without any rudders, but the downwind, we're going to be very hard pushed to even get the boat to come down as far as the beam reach. So if we want to sail downwind, I think what we're going to do, we're just tacking by the way, is we're going to go for this bit of backward sailing. So we're going to come right to the bow, and then if I get this camera pointing so it's just straight back there, and now there we are going backwards. Got a fairly decent bit of speed up there actually. Oh, one of the rudders has gone down. Oh, that rudder has just taken over. That's not a very fair demonstration if we're pretending that we've lost a rudder. All right, let's just sort that out. Oh, in fact, we've lost a rudder and broken the tiller extension. Apologies, shouldn't have done that. Okay, so if you're doing this as a drill, don't leave your tiller extension in the water because yeah, it could get forced the wrong way. Okay, so there we go. I think that's all there is to be said about this. But okay, the beach is right the way back there. So let's see if we can get back to the beach, which is straight downwind with no rudders at all. This is definitely the best way, is the backwards. We've got a good bit of pace on. It's quite nice. People are probably looking at what's going on thinking, what on earth is going on here? And they'd be right to do so, but we're certainly cruising quite well in the reverse gear on the 16 today. No rudders, but we're going very nicely. I'm just going to keep this going until we get in, to be honest. We're just turning a little bit, which is good. That's kind of what we want. How could we get it to turn that way more? We'd want to sink that hull. So we'd want to weight that hull more than this hull to get it to turn that way. The wind's gone round a little bit, so we have actually naturally turned that way. But this is quite good as part of the experiment, is to see if we can go backwards far enough and then sail the boat up to a mooring with no rudders. All sounds very challenging to me. Also, we could get it to turn that way by maybe putting a bit of drag on this hull. Foot is going in. Yeah, crazy stuff happening today. Wild Sailing Holidays, Beach Club and Resort, going backwards on the 16. Those of you who are staying tuned, well done for staying tuned. So I think we probably want to go forwards now. So I'm just going to come back. Hopefully we'll start going forwards before we hit the beach. Okay, so I'm going to pull the jib in. Jib's going in hard. Okay, forwards gear has been engaged. All right, very nice. We're going to have to tack to get to the moorings. So same as before. Going to do it all on the main sheet. So this is really solid gold for your tacking, is to do it all on the main sheet. So I'm going to bring the traveller in. We're going to start to head up, cranking the main sheet in, starting to head up more. As soon as jib back's going to really bang off the main and the traveller, just to make sure it doesn't catch at all on the new side. Oh, main sheet caught a bit. We've got the snaggy ratchet of doom, but that's okay. And we're pointing in a good direction. So I'm now going to bring the jib over to the new side. Okay, going to the leeward side to try to get the boat to go downwind a little bit more. No rudders. Okay, and if we want to come up, I'll just come up to the windward side. Maybe I'll ease the jib off a bit. Okay, so we're going a little bit lower than we really want to. This has been a fantastic exercise. I would recommend that everybody tries this because it's pretty pleasing to find out what you can do. All right, so I'm just going to bring the traveller in, easing the jib off to get her into the wind. And really cranking her in there to come head to wind, letting the main off. Going to get to the front, let's go backwards onto the mooring. If we can hit this mooring pretty well, I'd say that is a big success. Okay, we're close anyway. We're close. There's the mooring there. I'd say that was pretty close. So there we are. I think that was hugely successful, especially compared to what I thought was going to happen, which was less positive results, but very good indeed. So thanks very much for watching. I hope that has entertained you as much as it entertained me today. Very good stuff, solid technique there, but it really shows what the sails and the weight distribution does. As you go forwards on the boat, it really helps to get you upwind. As you go backwards on the boat, it helps to get you downwind. Not to say that you should be sitting at the back if you're going downwind, unless it's windy. And then it really went to show the effect of the sails, where the main sheet has got such a massive effect to bring you into the wind. So when you're not moving, like if you've stalled a tack or if you just want to get going, have the main sheet totally loose if you want to get going. Thanks very much. I've been Joe for Joyrider TV. You've been watching a video about how to sail the catamaran with no rudders. And I'd say the 16 has got to be one of the more difficult boats to do that on. So if we could do it on a 16, I think we could do it on anything. Thanks very much. Be back soon with some more soon on Joyrider TV. Please give the video a like and subscribe if you haven't yet done that. Thank you. Hello. Sorry, it's me talking loudly. You taking the 16? Yeah, cool. I just need a new tiller extension. I sort of accidentally broke it. It's very important. Yeah, I'll just grab one from the workshop. All right, thanks, man.